Whispers of weakness. The galaxy had always laughed at Earth. For centuries, humans were seen as newcomers, small, loud, and fragile compared to the great alien empires. When humans first joined the Galactic Council, whispers followed them everywhere. Primitive, unprepared. A death world species that doesn't know its place. In the grand chambers of the Council, representatives from powerful civilizations spoke of peace, order, and control. To them, Earth was nothing but a minor voice in a chorus of giants. Their fleets could darken the skies of entire systems. Their weapons could melt mountains. What could humanity possibly bring? The answer, they believed, was nothing. And so, the whispers grew louder. In bars across alien stations, traders joked about the weaklings from Sol. In military academies, young cadets studied humanity only as an example of how to pacify a small world. Even among neutral races, the idea was the same. Earth would never survive a real war. But the truth was different. The whispers reached the ears of Earth's leaders, and they did not laugh. They listened, they remembered, and they prepared in a hidden chamber deep within the Council's capital. An ultimatum was presented. The leader of the Zorath Dominion, a towering reptilian figure with scales that shimmered like steel, stood above the humans. His voice echoed through the chamber. Humanity will surrender its independent fleets. Your colonies will fall under Council protection. You will not build weapons without permission. Accept this, or face removal from the stars. Gasps filled the chamber. To the aliens, this was not cruelty, it was order. A weak species must be guided, controlled, absorbed. The human delegation sat in silence. Ambassador Rain, an older woman, with silver in her hair, did not move. Her face was calm, almost a calm. The alien delegates mistook it for fear. They did not notice the slight curl of her lip, the faintest trace of a smile. "Is this your final word?" she asked quietly. "It is the will of the Council," the Zorath replied, his teeth flashing in triumph. The humans nodded, gave no protest, and walked out of the chamber. The aliens believed they had won, but far away in the dark reaches of Sol, space engines began to wake. On Earth, life went on as normal. Cities buzzed with light, children played under the blue sky, and news channels debated politics as if nothing had changed. The people of Earth did not know of the ultimatum, not yet, but above them, hidden in the silence of orbit, secret fleets waited. These ships did not exist in official records. They were not paraded for allies or shown in Council reviews. They were ghosts of steel, built in black shipyards hidden behind Neptune's shadow. Their hulls were dark, their weapons untested by the galaxy's standards, but perfected by human hands. The whispers of weakness had given humanity a gift. Time to build, time to prepare, time to sharpen the blade in the dark in the colonies. The same story unfolded. Miners dug deeper than they needed, carving secret vaults for weapons and fuel. Scientists worked in silence, their discoveries locked behind layers of classified codes. Soldiers trained in remote bases, away from the eyes of spies. The galaxy thought humanity weak. Humanity allowed them to think so, because what the aliens never understood was simple. Weakness was not surrender. Weakness was camouflage. Back in the council chambers, the whispers spread again. The humans will submit. They always talk, but they never act. They are not fighters. They are afraid. But in shadowed rooms across Earth and her colonies, another whisper answered back. Wait, just wait. Let them think we are weak. One night, Ambassador Rain stood at her window in the human embassy, staring out at the alien city lights. Her assistant approached, worry clear on his face. "Do you think they suspect?" he asked. Rain shook her head. "They see what they want to see. A quiet, soft race, easy to control. They laugh at us because they believe we are small, but they forget one truth." Her assistant leaned closer. "And what truth is that?" She turned, her eyes sharp as steel. "Humanity has always been small. Small until we fight. And when we fight, we don't stop." Far across the galaxy, alien fleets trained for future wars. Not knowing that humanity had already built weapons meant to end them. The galaxy still whispered of weakness, but soon, very soon, those whispers would turn to silence. Because the day was coming, the day humanity's hidden power would no longer stay hidden. The silent preparations. Galaxy believed humanity had accepted the ultimatum. In the eyes of alien leaders, the humans were cowards, too fragile, too peaceful, too willing to bend. After all, Earth had not protested. The human delegation had simply walked out of the council chamber without a fight. To the galaxy, that silence meant surrender. But to humanity, silence meant something else. It meant time, far beyond the council's eyes. Deep in the frozen shadows of the solar system, hidden work had been going on for decades. Beneath the storms of Neptune, in dark shipyards where even light barely reached, ships were being built. In secret, they were not ordinary ships. These were monsters of steel, armed with weapons no alien had ever seen. Their hulls were layered with alloys created from Earth's most dangerous experiments. Their engines were designed to burn brighter, faster, and longer than any known technology. Each ship was a ghost, no records, no broadcasts, no signatures that could betray them. Only the engineers and the soldiers, who swore oaths of silence, knew the truth. They called them the Hidden Fleet. On Earth, life looked normal. People filled the streets, schools carried on, and news channels reported nothing unusual. But under the surface, everything was changing. Entire industries were quietly redirected. Factories that claimed to produce agricultural machines were secretly manufacturing weapon parts. Mining colonies in the asteroid belt shipped minerals under false names, sending them straight to hidden foundries. No alien spy saw the full picture. Each piece looked harmless, but when put together, it was a machine of war unlike anything the galaxy had prepared for. The soldiers of Earth trained in silence, in bases buried under mountains. Men and women ran endless drills. They fought in artificial environments, simulating alien worlds, lava fields, frozen tundras, toxic swamps. They studied alien tactics, learning every weakness, every habit, every blind spot. Above all, they learned patience. "Do not reveal what you are," their commanders said. "Do not show your hand until the day comes. The galaxy thinks we are weak, let them think so." Every soldier knew that their fight would not be for conquest, it would be for survival. Humanity's very existence depended on what was coming. Ambassador Rain returned to Earth. She visited the secret council of generals, scientists, and leaders who guided the preparations. "They think we are beaten," she told them. "They think Earth has surrendered." "Good," one of the generals replied, his face lit by the glow of a massive star map. "The longer they believe, the stronger we grow." On the star map, hundreds of red markers glowed faintly. These were alien fleets stationed across the galaxy. Compared to them, Earth's known forces were almost nothing. The aliens were certain of victory. But the general tapped the map, and hidden markers appeared, bright blue dots representing ships no alien had seen. The hidden fleet dot still growing, still waiting. In the colonies, whispers spread among the workers. They knew more than the public, but less than the leaders. They saw massive transports leaving with unknown cargo. They watched strange ships vanish into the void. Some were afraid, others felt pride, but all of them knew one thing: humanity was preparing for something greater than anyone could imagine. On the edge of the galaxy, alien captains noticed strange signals, brief, flickering traces that disappeared before they could be tracked. Reports reached the Council. Unidentified activity in soul space, one admiral said. The Council dismissed it. The humans have no power, they insisted. They are weak. What you see are errors, nothing more. The aliens laughed, and the reports were buried. But the signals were real. The hidden fleet was moving, testing engines, aligning weapons, and waiting for the command. Meanwhile, deep beneath the surface of the moon, a vault opened. Inside were machines long kept in darkness. They were experimental weapons, banned even by Earth's own laws. Orbital rail cannons capable of piercing dreadnought hulls. Swarms of AI drones designed to strike in silence. Energy cores so unstable that even alien scientists would call them impossible. Human engineers powered them on, one by one. The moon glowed faintly that night, but the galaxy did not see. Ambassador Rain stood once again at her window, this time looking at Earth itself. The world seemed so peaceful: blue oceans, white clouds, bright cities. But she knew peace was only a mask. Her assistant entered the room. "The Council still believes we've accepted," he said. Rain's eyes narrowed. "Let them believe. Their laughter is our shield. Their pride blinds them. When the time comes, they won't be ready." She turned to face him, her voice low but sharp. "The galaxy thinks humanity has no power. Soon they will see the truth. And when they see it, it will already be too late." In the silence of space, the hidden fleet waited. Engines slept. Weapons hummed quietly, waiting for their first command. The galaxy still whispered of weakness, but in secret, humanity had already rewritten the future. The preparations were almost complete, and the day was coming when the whispers would be replaced by screams. The confrontation, the Council's patience was ending. For weeks, alien leaders had waited for Earth's answer to the ultimatum. But the humans sent no reply, no agreement, no signature, no promise of surrender. Just silence. Silence in politics was dangerous. Silence in war was deadly. The Zoroth Dominion grew restless. Their generals pressed the Council. "The humans mock us. They must be taught fear." Other empires agreed. After all, they said, humanity was only one small world, with a handful of colonies. Breaking them would be quick, easy, and a warning to any who resisted the Council's order. So the decision was made. A fleet would be sent to Earth, not to destroy, but to force surrender at least. That was what they claimed. In truth, the fleet carried enough firepower to burn continents. On the day of departure, the alien ships gathered in orbit above the Council's capital world. Hundreds of vessels, sleek cruisers, massive carriers, sharp destroyers, all painted in the colors of different empires. At the center stood the Dominion's flagship, a giant beast of metal called the Hammer of Order. Its hull was dark silver. Its cannons, long and heavy, glowing with charged plasma. To the Council, this was a simple mission. To humanity, it was the moment everything would change. News of the fleet spread quickly. In the colonies, whispers turned to panic. Ordinary people asked the same question: what will Earth do? In the hidden bases of Mars, soldiers strapped into combat suits. They had trained for this day, but still their hearts raced. On the moon, engineers armed the rail cannons, their massive barrels sliding into position. And in the shadows beyond Neptune, the hidden fleet stirred. Engines rumbled to life, silent. Ships moved like predators waking from sleep. Humanity did not speak. Humanity prepared. Ambassador Rain stood in a command chamber deep under Earth's surface. Around her, generals and admirals gathered, their faces lit by holographic maps. The fleet is en route, a young officer reported. Estimated arrival, 7 days. The chamber fell silent. Everyone knew what 7 days meant. Rains. The voice was calm, steady. The galaxy believes we are weak. We will let them continue to believe until they fire the first shot. General Hale, an old soldier with scars across his jaw, leaned forward, and when they fire, we answer with everything we've built. Rain nodded. Then the galaxy will see the truth. The alien fleet crossed the stars like a storm. Civilian transports gave them wide passage. Stations went silent as the ships passed by, afraid to even send signals to outsiders. The sight was terrifying. But to the aliens aboard, it was routine. They will submit when they see us, one Zorith captain said confidently. If they do not, another laughed, we will burn their cities until they beg. None of them considered the possibility of defeat. In their minds, Earth was a small, helpless world, already broken before the war began. But on Earth, preparations reached their peak. Hidden bunkers opened to reveal weapons never shown before. Drones swarmed from underground vaults, filling the skies with silent wings. Civilian ships were quietly evacuated from orbit, leaving the space around Earth eerily empty. It was not emptiness. It was a trap. On the 6th day, the alien fleet arrived at the edge of Sol. Hundreds of ships entered the system in a flash of light. Their engines burned like suns as they formed a wall of metal. From a distance, it looked unstoppable. Their signals blasted across the system. Humans of Sol, you are ordered to disarm. You will surrender your fleets and colonies. If you resist, you will be destroyed. The message echoed on every frequency, but no reply came. Not from Earth, not from Mars, not from the moon. The humans were silent. The alien admirals grew annoyed. Why do they not answer? One demanded. They are afraid, said another. We will go closer. Once they see our power above their skies, they will surrender. The fleet moved forward. From her command chamber, Ambassador Rain watched. The enemy's approach. Her assistant's voice shook. Should we respond? Rain shook her head. Not yet. Her eyes locked on the holographic map. The red dots of the alien fleet were moving closer, closer, closer. And beside them, faint blue dots the hidden. Fleet began to shift into formation. The stage was set. The 7th day arrived. The alien armada entered Earth's orbit. Dozens of massive ships darkened the skies, their shadows stretching across oceans and continents. Civilians on Earth looked up and saw their doom above them. The alien flagship sent its final warning. Humans of Sol, this is your last chance. Submit or perish. The council chamber across the galaxy watched through live broadcast, waiting for Earth to bow. But then Ambassador Rain's voice cut through the silence. Calm, sharp, and cold. Earth does not submit. The words were simple, but they carried. Across every channel, every ship, every world, the galaxy froze. The aliens aboard the fleet laughed in disbelief. Then they have chosen death. But as their cannons began to charge, something stirred in the void beyond Neptune. Engines roared to life. Shadows of steel moved from hiding. The hidden fleet was no longer silent. The confrontation had begun. The galaxy believed Earth was weak. But now, for the first time, they would see what humanity had been preparing all along. Asterisk. The unveiling, the galaxy thought Earth had spoken its last words. Earth does not submit. 3 words carried across every frequency. 3 words that shook every empire, every council chamber, every watching world. For a heartbeat, silence followed. Then alien laughter filled the coms. They are fools, the Zorath commander sneered. Destroy their defenses, burn their cities. Let all who watch learn the price of defiance. The order went out. Cannons charged plasma cores. 1,000 weapons lit the dark. And then something strange happened. From beyond Neptune, shadows began to move. At first, the aliens thought they were asteroids. But the shadows changed direction. They turned as one, their engines lighting up in sharp blue fire. Dozens of ships emerged, then hundreds. But these were not the clumsy, outdated vessels humanity had once shown at parades. No, these ships were sharp, dark, and silent war machines, designed in secrecy, perfected in silence. Their hulls gleamed black, built to drink in starlight. Their cannons were long and strange, with rotating barrels that crackled with raw energy. They carried no banners, no colors, no insignias. Only one mark was visible. The symbol of Earth, a small blue sphere painted on steel. The hidden fleet had awakened on the alien flagship. Panic spread. Impossible. We scanned this system. They cannot have built this many ships. No, this is a trick. But it was no trick. The humans had hidden their true strength for decades. While the galaxy laughed at their weakness, Earth had worked in silence, building weapons no one had ever seen, and now they revealed them. The alien commander growled, trying to regain control. It does not matter. Their ships are untested. We have numbers. We have firepower. Crush them. The fleet adjusted formation, moving closer to Earth. Their weapons glowed, targeting the human vessels. Then, without warning, the hidden fleet fired. It was not plasma. It was not missiles. It was something new. The first human salvo struck a Zorath destroyer. Instead of exploding, the weapon pierced straight through, slicing the ship in half like paper. The halves drifted apart, sparks and fire spilling into the void. The alien fleet froze, their weapons dimmed, their voices cracked with shock. What was that? Some kind of rail weapon? No, faster, stronger, deadlier. One shot had ended a ship. One shot had silenced their laughter. Then more human ships fired, blue-white. Streaks of energy ripped through the alien formation. Cruisers shattered. Carriers split apart. Escape pods scattered into the void like frightened insects in less than a minute. 10 alien warships were gone. The council chamber watching across the galaxy went deathly quiet. This was not weakness. This was power. Power hidden in silence. Power waiting for the right moment. On Earth, Ambassador Rain stood in the command chamber. Her voice was steady, almost calm. Show them what we have built. She ordered. The admirals obeyed. Across the system, Earth's weapons came alive. On the moon, rail cannons fired bolts of metal faster than light. They struck alien shields and tore them apart like glass. On Mars, hidden drone fleets swarmed out of caverns, moving in perfect formation, thousands of machines attacking with surgical precision. Even the asteroid belt came alive. Mining stations unfolded, revealing turrets disguised as civilian machinery. The galaxy had believed Earth was poor, backward, weak. But every rock, every station, every moon had been prepared for this day. The aliens fought back desperately. Plasma cannons lit the skies. Missiles streaked through the void. Human ships exploded under the barrage, but for every one that fell, 3 more struck back. And still, the new human weapons ripped through alien shields. The Dominion's commander shouted, "Hold the line. We outnumber them 3-1. But numbers did not matter when every human shot was a death sentence. Civilians across Earth watched the skies. At first, they had seen only alien shadows, dark ships covering the sun. Now, they saw light streaks of blue fire tearing those shadows apart. Children cheered. Families cried in relief. For the first time in weeks, the people of Earth felt something stronger than fear. They felt pride far away in the councils. Great chamber, alien rulers stared in disbelief. This cannot be real," whispered a Calvary senator. "They hid this from us," a Varnak lord said bitterly. "For decades. Right under our noses." The council leader, pale and shaking, whispered the truth. Humanity was never weak. They only wanted us to believe it. On the battlefield, the alien flagship, the Hammer of Order, struggled to command its fleet. "Fall back," one captain cried. "No, push forward," another argued. But it was too late. The fleet was collapsing. Human ships pushed closer, breaking their lines. Drones swarmed like predators, cutting engines, disabling cannons, dragging entire warships into chaos. For the first time in centuries, the great empires of the galaxy felt something they had forgotten. Feared Ambassador Rain stood over the map, her eyes cold as she watched alien ships fall. "Let the galaxy watch," she said. "Let them see what happens when Earth is threatened." Her words carried across the chamber, heavy with certainty. This is the unveiling. This is our answer. And as another alien cruiser exploded in orbit, the galaxy finally understood. Humanity had never been weak. They had only been waiting. Asterisk. The reckoning, the battle had turned. Where once Earth was the hunted, now it was the hunter. The alien fleets, vast, proud, and sure of victory, were breaking apart under fire they had never seen before. The hidden human fleet cut through them, like steel through glass. Every shot ended a ship. Every maneuver showed precision born of years in secret training. But Earth was not finished. Ambassador Rain stood in the command chamber on Lunar Base. Her face was pale, but her voice was steady, iron wrapped in calm. "Bring out Leviathan," she said. The words carried through every channel. Officers froze. Soldiers whispered. Even among humans, the name was half rumor, half legend. And then, from the shadow of Saturn, something moved. At first, the aliens thought it was a moon. But the moon had engines the size of cities. The Leviathan revealed itself a warship so massive that even the largest alien dreadnoughts seemed small beside it. Its black hull stretched across kilometers, a beast of steel and silence. Rows of cannons lined its sides, each one glowing with deadly blue light. The aliens gasped across the comms. "That cannot be a ship. It is too large, too vast. Not even our empires could build this." But Earth had built it, in secret, in silence, while the galaxy mocked, while the galaxy laughed, and now they would learn what silence had created. The Dominion commander shouted in rage, forcing his ships to regroup. Focus, fire, bring it down. Thousands of alien cannons turned on the Leviathan. Plasma storms struck its shields. Missiles tore across the void. Fire and light filled the dark. And yet the Leviathan moved forward, untouched. Its shields glowed, bending space itself. Then, with a low hum, its main cannon charged. The galaxy had never seen a weapon like it. The first shot fired. It was not light, not plasma, not anything the empires had words for. It was raw energy condensed, focused, unleashed. The beam struck the alien battleship line. Dozens of ships' warships that had ruled the stars for centuries were erased in a single heartbeat. Not broken, not burning, erased. Gone. One shot. One fleet. The galaxy watched in silence. On Earth, billions stared at the sky feeds. The image of Leviathan filled the screens. Children whispered its name as if it were a legend come alive. Old soldiers wept because they had lived long enough to see the day Earth was no longer prey. The people of Earth had always feared the stars. Now the stars feared them. The Dominion fleet broke. Ships scattered, fleeing in every direction. Discipline collapsed. Admirals shouted, but their voices were drowned by screams and static. Retreat, run, get us out of this cursed system. The empires had come to demand Earth's surrender. Instead, they begged for escape. Inside the council chamber, silence turned to panic. "This changes everything," whispered a Varnak lord. "If they hold this power, none of us are safe," another hissed. "They will enslave us," shouted a third. But an old Kalari senator shook his head. His eyes were dark, his voice heavy. "No, do you not see? They never wanted conquest. They wanted survival, and we gave them no choice." On the battlefield, the Leviathan spoke again. Its deep mechanical voice echoed across every channel. "This is Earth. This is our final warning. We do not seek war. We do not seek conquest. But if you bring death to our people, then we will return it tenfold. Leave this system. Do not return." The voice was calm, cold, absolute. It was not a request. It was a verdict. The Dominion flagship tried one last desperate strike, launching all its missiles at once. Hundreds of warheads streaked toward the Leviathan. The human ship did not move. It simply opened its bays. From the dark, swarms of drones poured out thousands of small, fast, deadly machines. They intercepted the missiles in a storm of light, detonating them before they came close. Then the drones turned on the flagship. They tore into its hull, ripping it apart piece by piece. The proud alien ship, once called the Hammer of Order, broke into fragments. Burning across the void, the Dominion commander's last words were lost in static. And so the battle ended. The alien fleets were gone, destroyed or fleeing. The skies over Earth were clear once more. The humans stood silent, watching the wreckage drift. Victory was theirs, but none of them smiled, because they knew this was only the beginning. "Ambassador," Rain turned to the admirals. "Send the message. Across the stars, the age of silence is over. Earth will not bow. Earth will not kneel." Her words carried across every channel, every world, every empire. "Remember this day," she said. "The day humanity's hidden power was revealed. The day the galaxy learned that we are not weak, we are not prey, we are the reckoning." And so it was. From that day forward, The galaxy changed. Empires that once ruled without fear now trembled. At the thought of Earth, alliances shifted. Old enemies grew quiet, because they all remembered the sight of the Black Fleet. They remembered the Leviathan, and above all they remembered the voice, calm, unshaken, final run.